Hey, One World Entertainment, and of course we know the X-Men are on their way to the MCU. God help them, they'll probably be X-People rather than X-Men. But the question now, of course, is, well, who's going to round out the cast of X-Men? And of course, we're hearing that Hugh Jackman is being kept on, apparently anyway. But Professor X, now we've heard a name floated around with Charles Xavier for a while now, but the actor himself has now officially said he wants to play the character. That is none other than Laurence Fishburne. Now, great actor, absolute great actor, and I'm sure he would actually make a really good Professor X, Charles Xavier. Except, you can't just keep race swapping these characters for the sake of race swapping the characters. As soon as you do it, people are just going to go, of course you did it. Why wouldn't you? It's Disney. But let's have a look, because he's thrown his name in here for X-Men, but at the same time, he's pretty much saying hell no to Star Wars. So let's have a look at this, because it's interesting. He said it at Comic-Con in New York, so Laurence Fishburne is throwing his name into the X-Men reboot conversation. During a Matrix reunion panel at New York Comic-Con, the 64-year-old actor made a public pitch to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Professor Charles Xavier. I wonder if he's actually keeping an eye on what's happening with Marvel right now, because it's not something you want to join. It's not something you want to stick decades of your life to, because that's the other issue, I think, especially for actors in their later years, really need to take kind of a delicate approach to being the fact that you're going to be made sign up for multiple movies. This isn't a one and done. You know, maybe he thinks that's the case. Maybe he thinks he signs up, it's in and out, and then, you know, if he likes the contract for the second movie, he comes back or whatnot. But that's not the case with Marvel. It's the case of, oh, you're signing up for 5 movies or whatnot. That's why Joaquin Phoenix turned down the role of Doctor Strange. Like, they were borderline signing the contract until they showed him, oh, by the way, you're signing up for like a 7-movie contract. And he was like, no, I want to sign up for 1 movie and then we see where we go from there. And they were like, no, you need to sign up for 7. And he went, no. So I think Laurence Fishburne may want to actually kind of look into this, but this is what he said anyway. So he told the audience, I know that they're talking about the X-Men now, so at this point I want one of 2 things. The first thing would be, what do you think about Laurence Fishburne as Professor X? So that's what he asked. And of course, the crowd probably went wild and stuff. Now, of course they did. You know, they're hardly going to start booing him. But anyway, Fishburne also questioned the crowd what his second thing should be, with Star Wars suggested. But the actor said he doesn't want Star Wars, saying, no, I'm good. I'm watching everything. I'm watching every Star Wars. I'm in the middle of Rebels now, man. I'm good on the couch with Star Wars. I don't need a lightsaber. I don't. Pew pew. I don't need it. So, that sounds like he is keeping his eye on what's happening with Star Wars. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm not touching that with a barge pole. But the idea of him wanting to be Professor X, now, of course, again, you're saying it to the crowd who are going to get riled up and going like, yeah, absolutely. As opposed to asking a general audience who probably don't really know much. They might be, well, they probably get excited as well, but then when they look into who Professor X is, they might go, wait a minute, that's a bit weird. But like it's saying, Kevin Feige's rebooted X-Men is expected to follow Secret Wars and will reportedly feature a new, younger cast with some major changes to character dynamics. You think? I mean, if you're going to go with a black Professor X, yeah, I think it's safe to say there's some major changes there. So, one ongoing rumour is that Feige is to cast black actors in prominent roles, especially Magneto and Professor X, to differentiate the MCU reboot from the Fox version. Oh my god, that right there. Talk about cope and BS. Well, we might confuse people if we make the characters white, so if we changed our race, people will know exactly which is which. As opposed to Patrick Stewart was the only live action Professor X. Well, no, he wasn't. James McAvoy then came in, but a much younger version because they were prequels. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not going to confuse people when you cast a new version of Charles Xavier. So, what's this idea of, oh, if they're not black, they mightn't be able to tell the difference? That's ridiculous. That is a stupid excuse to do this. And why would Magneto be black as well? It's just so stupid. They really cannot figure out these characters and what they're doing anymore, can they? They've gone so far down this messaging road. Yeah, you want actors to be great and stuff. You want those prominent actors, but find the proper roles for them. I'm sure there's other roles that you could absolutely give to Laurence Fishburne. Doesn't sound like he'd particularly want them, because it sounds like he wants to be Professor X. But at the same time, he has just done 2 race-swapped characters now. Of course, Perry White in Man of Steel and the Zack Snyder DCEU. He, of course, was Perry White. And now he's doing the vampire dude, can't think of his name off the top of my head, in The Witcher, Season 4. Don't know about Season 5, but definitely in Season 4. So he's now done 2 race-swapped characters. And the irony is, like, again, Laurence Fishburne is a great actor, and I think he could make a great Charles Xavier, except the fact that you want to keep these characters as they are, which, unfortunately for him, means Charles Xavier's white. But when he keeps doing this stuff, there's going to be so much pushback towards him. It's like, dude, you can't. Surely he could figure out something else to do, like, rather than this. And it's just, why? Why do you want to be this character when you know what the character is and who it is? And the irony is, if somebody was to turn around now and maybe even race swap a character he played, like if they turned around and said, okay, we're doing a new Matrix and Morpheus is now going to be white, he would probably push back and say, you're taking the black man's identity. But at the same time, the argument for that could be, oh, but Lawrence, it's the Matrix. It can change things. It can manipulate things and change them to white. Make more sense than just race swapping a character. But at the same time, even here, right now, I would oppose that. I'd be, why would you change Morpheus to a white dude? He's black. Why would you change it? Like, look at the pushback that there was when they even recast Morpheus in the last Matrix movie. It was like, why would you do that? Why would you not just bring back Laurence Fishburne? It was so strange. So, the idea of him playing it, again, I could see how it could work brilliantly, because, again, he is a great actor. But I think they need to read the room. And it's the case of, you're just doing it again and again. You're doing the same thing. As much as Bob Iger keeps standing there and saying, oh, we're not getting into this whole cultural war crap and we're quieting down the messages. They've just doubled and tripled down, and they've gotten louder in the 3 years that Bob Iger has said this crap. And to do this, you would just amplify it even more. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you mind seeing Laurence Fishburne play Professor X? Or do you think he should stick to some other roles? What's your overall opinion on it? Let us know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.